Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Sarah and I'd like to welcome you to day 7 of the Crochet Christmas challenge. If you don't know what that is, you can go ahead and pop into that description and I'll explain it all in detail. Because honestly, nobody likes a long-winded intro. For day 7, we will be crocheting these little crabs. These guys are no-sew pattern, just like all the rest, or actually that's not entirely true, but in today's tutorial I will be crocheting with a size 6 plushie yarn. This is what it'll look like size-wise when it's complete. I will be showing you guys a trick to close up all these holes that you might get when working with plushie yarn and no-sew patterns. For this tutorial I will be using a size 6 yarn. This guy right here, I'm going to be working in a blue color. And with this blue yarn, you'll need your corresponding crochet hook. My rule of thumb is whatever size yarn, I use the same size crochet hook. For example, this is a size 6 yarn, I'll use a 6mm crochet hook. This is just a basic rule of thumb. You can adjust it depending on your tension and other factors that I might not take into consideration. You'll need a pair of scissors, a sewing needle, and a stitch marker will definitely be helpful. And next you'll need some stuffing. And you'll either need some yarn to stitch some eyes on or some safety eyes if you prefer that look. I'll just be using a bit of gray yarn for the eyes in this tutorial, for example. To begin this pattern, we're going to start with either a chain 2 or a magic ring. I like to use the chain 2 method. So chain 2, and then for that first round we will single crochet 6. For round 2, we will increase in each stitch around. For this round and all the next rounds following, insert your stitch marker into that final stitch, if you are using one, of course. For this next round, we will increase and then single crochet, and we'll repeat this 6 times. Oops. For our next round, we will increase and then single crochet 2, and we'll repeat that 6 times. Now at this point, we will secure our center, our magic ring or our chain 2 tail. Thread your needle and just insert it through any of the loops. Create an arch and put your needle under it and then pull tight, and you can repeat this 3 to 4 times, excuse me, 2 to 3 times, depending on how loose the magic ring is. I'm working with an incredibly difficult yarn, which is why I wasn't able to pull it closed very well. Now for the next 2 rounds, we will single crochet in each stitch around. Once you have single crocheted all the way around, we will begin making our little legs and our claws, pinchers. In this is round 7, by the way, we will single crochet 3. Once you have single crocheted 3, chain 4. Skip that first chain. You will skip the first chain on any of the legs or claw pieces that we make. And in the next 3 chains, we will single crochet. Now we will single crochet in the next stitch. I like to do this by collecting that front loop of the previous single crochet, like so, and then inserting your hook into the next stitch, yarn over and pull through both those loops, and then single crochet normally. And this will block up any hole, especially when working with bigger plushy yarn. When you're working with smaller yarn, like a size 4 velvet, it may not be as noticeable. Now we will chain 4 again, skip that first chain, and single crochet 3. Now we'll single crochet in the next stitch, grab that front part of your single crochet, and single crochet through it, like so. You'll end up with almost like a back loop line or a front loop line. I personally don't mind the way it looks because that hole is closed. So you can do either method, whichever one is your preferred method. Chain 4, skip that first chain, single crochet 3. Now we will single crochet into the next stitch, like so. We have our first 3 legs. Now we will work on our claw. We will chain 7. Skip that first chain and single crochet. Then we'll half double crochet together. So begin your half double crochet, yarn over again, and insert into the next chain. So you'll have 5 loops on your hook and pull through all of them, just like that. And then in the next stitch, we will slip stitch, just like so. Now, the reason I do this on this claw is to bend it inward. The chain will naturally go out towards this direction, and I want it to fold in on this side, which is why we double crochet together. For this next claw, we will not be double crocheting together so that it sticks further out. You'll see what I mean when we get to that next claw. Now at this point, we will chain 3, skip that first chain and slip stitch into the next 2 chains. Now in that same slip stitch as before, we'll slip stitch again, like so, and we get kind of like a mitten look. And then we will slip stitch in the last 2 chains. Now using the same trick, insert your hook through that front loop on the single crochet and single crochet into the next stitch, like so. Now at this point we will single crochet 10 counting this stitch, so single crochet into the next 9 stitches. Then we will begin our second claw, and to do this we will chain 6. We will slip stitch into the next 3 stitches. Then we will chain 4. And we will single crochet into that second chain from hook, half double crochet twice rather than together, and then slip stitch into that same chain as our previous slip stitch, and then slip stitch twice. There you have your second claw done. Using our trick from before, we will single crochet into the next stitch and chain 4. Skip that first chain and single crochet in the next 3 chains. Single crochet in the next stitch, and we're going to repeat this 2 more times to create 2 more legs. Now we'll single crochet in the remaining stitches. And there we have finished all of the claws and the little legs. Now at this point we will begin decreasing. So we're going to decrease once and then single crochet 2, and we'll repeat this 6 times all the way around. Sometimes you might want to use the regular decrease because it might be easier depending on the yarn you're using, rather than the invisible decrease. There you have that first decrease round complete. Now at this point we will either insert our safety eyes or stitch the eyes on, which I'll show you how to do right now. Using whatever color you decide to use. I personally like to use a dark gray on lighter colors and black on darker colors. the stitch that is directly after the claw, insert your yarn and then stitch that round above, and just stitch that 3 to 4 times. Like so. Then with the same yarn, stretch all the way across to the other side. You do not want to pull this tight because you don't want to make the doll shape change in any way. So just keep it somewhat loose, but don't leave it hanging or anything. For example, so it's just right across, not hanging, but not tight enough to change the shape. Then tie this end securely. Now at this point, I will just be stuffing the tails in and continuing on with the next round of the pattern. If you're working with a very small yarn, you might want to start stuffing now. I will be waiting till the next round to begin stuffing though. For this next round, we will decrease and then single crochet into the next stitch, and then we'll repeat this 6 times. Now at this point, I will stuff our crab. Just like so. Now we will finish our final round. Oof. Accidentally pulled that a little bit too hard. Let's see if I can get it through without. As I said in the beginning of this video, this yarn is finicky, that's for sure. Let's see if I can get it through. There we go. Like I was saying, for our final round, we will just decrease in each stitch around for a total of 6 decreases. Once you've finished, just slip stitch, chain 1, and fasten off with about a medium length of yarn. At this point, if your crab needs any more stuffing, go ahead and give it a little bit more. My crab is definitely stuffed, so we will sew up the bottom. Do this by collecting all the front loops and pulling tight. But not too tight, especially if you're working with plushy yarn. I always gotta warn people because I've had plushy yarn break on one occasion, and I gotta say, I never want it to happen again. It is just very disappointing. Once you've gone all the way around and you've tightened your hole in the bottom, just go ahead and create a knot. And then tuck in the ends. I like to weave it in back, forth, and then back once more for a total of 3 times. And then tuck it in one more time. Once your tail is tucked in, go ahead and cut that tail. Set it aside to use it for stuffing later. And there you have your very own crab. Just those legs a little bit to straighten them out. So this was the pattern I designed originally. Its limbs are just a tiny bit longer, but I personally found it looks definitely a lot cuter with slightly shorter limbs. It sits just a little bit better. Thanks for joining me in this tutorial and for day 7 of the Christmas crochet challenge. If you don't know what that is, like I said, it's in the description. And if you're not here for it, but just for this pattern, thank you very much for sticking around and crocheting. Let me know down in the comments if you completed it, and I hope to see you in day 8 of the Crochet Christmas challenge. Bye!